Trae Young has been one of the most electrifying stars over the last couple of years since he was drafted. This year, however, Trae has been one of the most inefficient players in the league and has been very disappointing so far this season. Not only that, but players, coaches, and fans are starting to have a problem with his play style, and one coach recently called him out on it. Find out why people are starting to call this Atlanta Hawks player the free throw superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, that bell was just a reminder if we prepare for takeoff towards the upcoming video, to strap in your subscribe button and activate your like button for a smooth takeoff. Enjoy your flight with us at Sports. The Atlanta Hawks have been one of the worst teams in the NBA over the past few seasons, and one of the only bright spots on this team has been Trae Young. He's been their best player easily, and he went from being the 5th pick in the 2018 draft to last year averaging 30 points per game in his second season, while shooting about 10 threes per game, and he shot about 36% on them. And he's never been the most efficient player. You know, he always has problems with efficiency. But last year he did shoot about 44% from the field, and you know, he still shot about 86% from the free throw line. But averaging 30 points, 9 assists in your second year, you look like possibly one of the best players to ever play. I mean, that's only his second year. He can only get better from there, right? Well, so far this season, he's been terribly disappointing, and I expected a lot more from him. So, at the moment, he's averaging 23 points per game and about 9 assists. He still has a lot of turnovers per game, but you know, if you average a lot of assists, it's probably going to happen. But the thing I need to talk about, he's shooting 38% from the field and 27% from 3. You want to know the people who shoot that percentage from the field? They're in the G League. None of those players in the NBA, because if they shoot like that consistently, they're not good enough to be in the NBA. Those are terrible. And he's really just hurting his team shooting a lot out there. Now, you might be wondering, if he's shooting that bad from the field, how is he averaging 23 points per game? Well, it's simple. He's shooting 10 free throws a game, and he's shooting about 9% on them. That's the only way. He's getting to the line over and over and over. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a great thing that he's getting to the line. And it shows if your free throw percentages are really good, then you're really a good shooter. You can have bad shooting slumps or whatever, but from what NBA history has showed us, if you're good at shooting free throws, your shot over time will usually be a higher percentage. So there's nothing wrong with his mechanics. We obviously know he can shoot. He can shoot from half court if he wants to, but he's just having a bad, rough time right now. So the fact that he can make sure he gets to the line and he still gets some points for his team for whatever reason, no matter how it happens, you know, it's always a good thing. But right now, the Hawks are not doing so well. They're 6-7, and coming to this NBA season, they're supposed to take a huge leap. And, you know, it kind of is a leap regardless, because last year they went 20-47. So the fact that they're about 500, that's still an improvement. But I still expected a lot more from the Hawks, and I have a feeling it has a lot to do with Trae Young. Because you see, he, even on his night where he's shooting really bad, he just keeps on chucking up shots, and he wants to be the guy to bring it home every time. He wants to be the closer, he wants to be that guy, and sometimes he is lit, man. I admit he's a really, really good player, but I feel like he needs to tap into, you know, just his basketball IQ. I know he's a really smart player, and at times you can see it, but other times he wants to take over and have the spotlight, but he needs to just make the best plays for his team. And if he's not shooting amazing, just don't try and take over, man. It's not worth it. Wins are worth way more than clout. Come on, man. Worth a lot more than that. But the problem I have with him is it's the way he's playing, man. I mean, people have had his knock on James Harden for a while, but James Harden's always been able to hit his shots. The only way Trae Young is scoring is if he's flailing his body into someone else and drawing contact. And that's why he's shooting so bad. That's another reason. Because he is taking a lot of bad shots in anticipation of getting fouled and missing them. But the reason why he keeps on doing it over and over is because about half the time he is getting those calls. You know, a defender would be like 2 feet in front of him, they'd jump up, and he'd just shoot with his body falling forward, and they'd call a foul, and he won't even hit the rim. But it's just like, oh, okay, well, I got fouled, so 2 free points right here. And that's not how it should be. You shouldn't be able to flail your body or just use the defender to get a foul. If they foul you, then yeah, you should go to the free throw line and get some free throws, but you shouldn't be able to initiate the contact on purpose just because you don't want to work for your points. Because right now, in the game where he's not getting any free throws, I see him struggling to score every single game. And if these refs keep on giving these free points, I mean, sure, I'm sure he'll take it. But it's getting really annoying to watch this. And even his favorite player growing up, which is now the Brooklyn Nets head coach, Steve Nash, he even called him out on this. Because Trae Young said that's his favorite player growing up. But Steve Nash said he couldn't even stand watching Trae Young play when Nets were playing him. He said it's not even real basketball. And it's really not. I'm not even knocking Trae Young for it. I just hate the whole intentionally making myself get fouled community in the NBA, you know, like James Harden and Trae Young, and Kevin Durant used to do it a lot, but Dwayne Wade used to be a big person doing it. It's just so annoying. Like, just don't call these damn fouls. Let them play the damn game. If someone's going to try to initiate the contact, then just let it play. I hate seeing it because it will just interrupt the flow of the game. You know, the game be fun to watch, and then about 3 times in a 5-minute span, you know, someone will force contact. And I was like, man, all I'm seeing is free throw after free throw after free throw. And I do get kind of tired of that sometimes, man. Not gonna lie. But anyways, the fans and other people were starting to notice this, and people were starting to get on him like they got on James Harden before. And I've seen multiple people starting to say, well, Trae Young can't make a 2-pointer, he can't make a 3, but he's still a superstar, isn't he? I mean, he's averaging the stats for it if you don't look at the percentages. So I guess he's just a free throw superstar, huh? He needs free throws to be a star. And I don't agree with this. I think he's a superstar. Give him some time, he brings those percentages up. He's probably not going to be the most efficient player ever. But, you know, Kemba's never been the most efficient player ever either. He's always been a good player. I think Trae Young will still end up being a top 5 point guard when it's all said and done. He's honestly probably already top 10. I mean, yeah, he already is top 10. What am I talking about probably? He's electrified, man. It is disappointing, but you got to remember, he's still really, really young. He's only in his 3rd year in the NBA. And he's going to have times where he's going to be inefficient, where he's going to want to be the man, he's going to make mistakes. You know, he may lose some games, may miss some game winners. It's all part of the growing process, but the Hawks are a really young team. I mean, look at them. Trae Young, John Collins, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter. They just got a lottery pick this year. They just picked up Chris Dunn and Bogdanovich. I mean, come on, man. The only veterans they really have is Clint Capella. They just picked up Rondo and Danilo Gallinari. But that's a well-rounded team, and honestly, they should make the playoffs. Even if Trae Young were to struggle like this the entire year, they still should be the 8th seed. I have high hopes for this team. I have high hopes for Trae Young. The one thing I don't think he is, I don't think he's the next Steph Curry. I don't think he's the next Damian Lillard. He's not going to be Luka Doncic. He's just Trae Young, man. Don't try comparing to anybody else. People try to say, oh, he's not doing this, not doing that. He was supposed to be the next Steph Curry. Well, he's not Curry, man. He's not Lillard either. I mean, he is going to be one of the best point guards in the league. I promise y'all that. So don't criticize this man too much. Actually, I want to tell y'all not to criticize any of these young players too much. I mean, come on. He's only like 21 years old. You would label people as a bust so early. I'm not saying he's a bust or anybody says he's a bust, but people will take a 20-year-old say he's a bust. You know, 20, like Markelle Fultz. They were saying he's busted like 2021. Lonzo, they're already calling him a bust. Like, give these players time. Some players, it takes like 6-7 years to really perfect their game and be at their prime. That's why people say their prime's like 26, 27. He's not at his full form, man. It will come. It will come. All right, that's enough ranting about Trae Young. So do I think he's a free throw superstar? No, I think he is just a superstar. The best player on the Hawks. He's gonna be the best player on the Hawks for the next 2 decades. Okay, it's Hot Sports out. See y'all later.